pressure, huh? Going through the day, being happy, enjoying ourselves, feeling like life's working, being in sync, moving along. We all like that, right? Am I the only one who likes that? Okay, when you're in that groove, moving along, everything's feeling good. If that only happened every day, all the time. And yet, it kind of does. It kind of does. Because everything is in sync with our own consciousnness, even if our consciousness is in sync with Ray's consciousness. It's all in sync. And so it's up to us, this is what surfing is all about, right? The wave happens. Nobody gets to control the wave coming in. It's all how you ride it. And those who find different and more interesting and powerful ways to ride the wave in surfing, well, they're the ones that win the contests and have the coolest time. My favorite is like when you see somebody going on a surfboard and the wave is over them like that. I don't know what it's called, but they're going down through the pike. Pipe, right. Going down through that pipe, and they're like touching the wave, and they're like this. Those guys who figured that stuff out, I just think that's amazing. But that's what life can feel like if we practice what it is we come here to practice, to feel that place of power. And those folks who did that didn't start there. It wasn't like one day they went out on their surfboard and all of a sudden they're going down the pipe. No, I don't think so. I think how it all started was they got on a board and they fell off. And they got on a board and they fell off. And they got on a board and then they fell off. And then once they got on the board and they were able to go 2 feet and then fell off. And it grew from there. And there's all these people in the world who want to go out and be really good at surfing. And then there's only a few who hang in there long enough to become great at it. And I think that that's how it works with consciousness and in every field and how we create our lives. And it is certainly the key to happiness is that you got to be willing to hang in there through times that don't look so good, don't feel so good, like you're falling off the board again. And then you got to get back on, and you just got to do it again. And keep doing it again. Whatever it is that is for yours to do. Now, I know that for me, one of the secrets of my happiness has been to follow that inner voice no matter what. To follow what it is mine to do, to constantly ask myself, what is mine to do, and then do that. What comes to me, and no matter what the circumstance, no matter what's going on at the time, being okay with the fact that what's come up for me to do may look like in complete disagreement with what's going on, or may look right in alignment with what's going on, but I know that if I simply follow what it is that's mine to do, to take my next step, to move forward, that what comes out of that is usually something brilliant that I never even expected. And I love those moments. I love those moments when something pops up and I'm looking at it going, wow, I never expected that. One of my first things that happened to me when I got into science of mind, when I first started out in this movement, was something called an unexpected income program. And I got into that, and the idea is that you wouldn't just have the income come in that you expect, you'd have income come in that was not expected. And that's what you were really working on, not just to increase the income that you already have, but to have something show up out of nowhere. And I thought, that sounds crazy. I'm going to try that. So I took that class, and we went through the 10 weeks, and in that first class, I watched some people come up with all kinds of magnificent, huge things. I came up with $10 that I didn't expect. But it was unexpected. So I tithed on it because that was the deal. Any unexpected income comes in, you tithe 10%. So I gave $1 to the church at the time. And I went on and I started, and then I took that same course the following summer because they wound up offering it every summer at the center I was going through. And the next year I said to myself, I don't really want something small. I'm going to know for myself a minimum of $10,000 showing up unexpectedly. And so I was going along and the class was going along, and then one day I get a call saying a relative that I had not heard from, seen, or knew much about anything about her for decades had left me $10,000. And I went in to talk about that. And I thought, okay, this stuff can really work. And so from that, I started taking other classes, started moving forward in the science of mind, started learning more about this stuff. And one of the things that actually came up for me around all this is that it's not only income that can be unexpected, it's any result. And I found that the more I was willing to follow that inner voice inside me, the more I was willing to dive into myself and into my own heart and into my own beingness and not get stuck in my head about what is possible, because there's nothing that can kill a dream faster than starting to think about what is possible, what is realistic. I love when people say to me, gotta be realistic. Because there's no such thing. And people prove that all the time. You've heard me talk about the man who first ran a 4-minute mile. I mean, there are just a ton of folks out there who did something that everybody else thought was impossible. And so thinking realistically is a great way to never get your highest dream, to never become and evolve into who you have come here to be. What we have here is an opportunity to get beyond that, get beyond what we think is normal, get beyond what we think is average, get beyond what we think is okay. There was this book out back in the 70s, I'm okay, you're okay. Screw that. I'm great and you're great. We all are great. We all have greatness within us. Every one of us comes to this planet with something unique and special about themselves to then express in a great way if you were willing to keep getting back on the board. We all have the ability to ride that pipe down the wave of our beingness, our thing that is ours to bring. Whether it be surfing, and we're surfing it anyway, right? Life is a surfing event. Anybody who thinks they can control the wave of the ocean, well, they're going to get knocked over. But what you can control is how you are with that. How do you surf it? How do you surf the experiences in your life? The question I am constantly answering myself is, how do I navigate this? And then the answers come with what is mine to do. I do not try to get in the way or take on circumstance. I don't care whether it's a doctor telling me I got some disease, whether I've lost my job, a divorce, whatever the circumstance, a loss, somebody dying, whatever it is. The key is not to take it on, but to navigate it like the best sailor in the universe, like the best surfer that ever lived. And every one of us can do that with the circumstances that are ours to do. And the better we get at this navigation, the better we get at knowing, then that really does shift the results that we feel and experience in our lives. And that's where the unexpected shows up, whether it be income or anything else. I think the key to happiness and to, the name of my talk for this week was living a life that unleashes our spirit. Well, I know that for those who ride that pipe, they feel unleashed. They feel something incredible. Every astronaut who's ever been into space comes back a changed person. I'm a changed person because of my experiences, not as an astronaut, not as a surfer, but as who I came here to be. By constantly looking at that, by constantly getting back on the board. You know, I have days where I don't want to get back on the board. Where I wake up saying, I'd rather just stay in bed today and keep my head under the covers. I have days like that. But I don't. I don't go with my smaller self. I haven't in a really long time taken action from my smaller self. I have smaller self thoughts. I have smaller thought feelings. But I don't act on them. And that's what makes the difference. I get back on the board. 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 That's what it takes. I wish it was easier. I wish I had some quick fix for you. I wish I could stand up here and say, these are the numbers to the next lotto jackpot. God knows I've tried. But what I have seen in the results that I have in my life is when I simply get back on the board, knowing that greatness comes from the practice. Greatness comes from the beingness of the practice of constantly getting back up on the board and doing it again and again and again. My wife, she leaves on Monday. She's not here next Sunday because she's going to a conference up in Berkeley where the owner of the company cannot do it without her, is paying for an entire expense to go up there, be there all week, because she doesn't want to experience that gathering without my wife being there. That happened because she keeps getting back on the board. That happened because she keeps standing up, doing her next step into her own greatness. She comes up here and she sings for you guys each week. And I don't know if a lot of you have been here the full 2 years that we've been here and have listened to her voice grow and grow and grow. And how does that happen? She just keeps getting up here and doing it. I used to do these talks with notes, on a podium that used to be there. But we move on when we keep doing it. So look to your own life. Look inside. Look at what it is that you want to be great at. If what you're doing is looking at your life and going, I want to have this, I want to have that, I want to have all these circumstances come into form in this particular way, your focus is in the wrong spot. It's what do you want to be great at? Because if you're great, it comes. If you focus on practicing being great, even if you're not great yet, the simple act of practicing towards whatever it is you want to be great at brings to you the unexpectedness of life's magic, brings to you the beauty of what's possible in life. This is what I bring to you today, that it isn't focusing on I know we're in a movement where everybody says focus on, this and focus on that, and that's how you get it, we're da-da-da-da-da. And I'm here to tell you, actually, there's a greater way of being than focusing on results. Focusing on yourself. Focus on who you are being in the world. What is your contribution to life? You are never too old and never too young to stop contributing to life. And in whatever way you are contributing, you're never too old and never too young to get better at it. To continue in what it is that is yours to bring. And maybe it's not the same thing when you were younger. You know, a lot of ball players, they run into that all the time. They come into this life thinking, I came here to be a great ball player. They go on to be a great ball player, and then the day comes where that's done. But their life isn't over. So then they have to rediscover themselves. And maybe they rediscover themselves into a second career that they then put all that same force and energy that made them great in their sport into the second thing that they're now doing. And then all of a sudden, it feels like they can't do that anymore. So they move on to a third thing. And whatever it is, whatever is yours, it's never too late. It's never too late to keep practicing. It's never too late or too early to begin the practice, to get good at the practice of getting back on the board, learning from the fall you took the last time, and doing something different this time. It's never too late. And our teaching is perfect for this, because it constantly reminds us that we have the power, the presence within us to use our consciousness to help us stay up, to get up, to keep going, to remind ourselves that life is nothing more than a blip. I did a memorial yesterday, and a lot of the people at the memorial spoke about how the person who had died so young, too short. And I reminded them what I will remind you, that all life is short. Whether you live to 50 or 100, 20 or 80, it's short. It's a blip. We're infinite beings, and being here is a blip. So how do you want to spend it? How do you want to spend today? Today, in this moment, you picked being here so that we could be in community, spiritual community, to remind ourselves to have an open heart, to feel the love and specialness of life. That's one of the things I want to continue to get better at. So I wake up this morning and I recommit to having an open heart and feeling the divineness in everyone, no matter what's the circumstance. And then somebody honks me as I'm making a left-hand turn because I wasn't making that left-hand turn fast enough. So instead of being my great and higher self, I hit the brake. I didn't hit it hard, just enough. And then the second later, I'm like, oh, time to recommit. Get back on the board. Let's do it again. Let's start again. So I put on the gas and I moved forward and let them fly by me as they were doing. And then I got on the highway. And people are speeding and going all over the place. Like, it's Sunday in LA. When do you get to move quickly on a highway? So, of course, people are doing that. And I'm sitting there driving on my way here, just thinking about, okay, I want to stay in that place, no matter what the circumstance. I want to feel the love of life, feel my heart open, no matter what anybody's doing. No matter what the circumstance, because I want to be great at that. I really want to be great at just having an open heart. That's important to me. You got to decide what's important to you. I'm not saying that you should, and we're all unique beings. So trust me when I'm telling you, I'm not saying be great at the things I want to be great at. I want you to be great at the things you want to be great at. How do you want to contribute to life? I know that the further I go forward with an open heart, the more that alone contributes. Because we need all the open hearts this world can get. I know that no matter what's going on, the more we have an open heart, the more I have an open heart, then I'm contributing in my way. How do I unleash my spirit? by feeling the safety of life through my open heart, through knowing that I am an infinite being, playing around in a body that continues to do what bodies do. My body can't do what it did 30 years ago, and I don't even try to make it try. I just let it do what it can do now and find an open heart in that to enjoy it, to be with it, to contribute through that. So what is it for you? What is yours to do? What can you still practice at or begin practicing? It's never too early. It's never too late to know how you contribute, to know what you want to be great at to contribute. And whether you get to be great or not is not near as relevant as the practice. Because I promise you, I am not great at many things, at anything as far as I can tell. But I keep practicing. And even in not being great, I have incredible results happen in my life. I have amazing things that open and come that I never anticipated. I feel a richness in life that we can all feel. A richness, a beauty, a love. Let us all be in that. That's what spiritual community is about, right? Spiritual family is so we can remind ourselves who we truly are. And for you out there in the online world, we are here for you. Thank you for being with us this day. Thank you for knowing for yourself that there is a greatness and something worth practicing. We are all here to practice and support each other together, to remind ourselves who we truly are when we doubt, to pick each other up when we fall. That's the beauty of spiritual community. I am so sad at the times I hear that one of our family has been sick, and they never took the time to call to have us check on them or pray for them. That's what we're here for, to be here for each other, to help each other rise. Let's do that together. That's the purpose of all this, so that we have other people to do this together, to get us back on that board, surf down that pipe, and feel that magnificent synchronicity that occurs when you are in that moment of pure beauty of life. Thank you. I love you. All right. This is the point in our program where we pray on one of our own. We pray. Who's going to come up here and have the courage? Mary, come on up. Please tell us what we'd like you to know for you.
Okay. Well, I'm Mary, and recently I had blood tests taken, and all my numbers were about 20 points too high. So I'm hoping with some willpower, some exercise, and some weight loss that, maybe my numbers will get back in the normal range again.
There. I need 8 to 10 folks up here to lay hands on. Name of Mary. All right. So let us close our eyes and know the truth within our own hearts. Feel that energy, that love, healing energy within your own heart. Feel it radiate. The love, the light within your heart. And now feel it move out to where you feel the light and love from everyone's heart in this room. Feel how we stand together in truth, in love, in light. And in this power and presence, let's know for Mary just send her that love and light, that she is healthy, whole, complete, that her numbers are all within normal range, that she is vital, having a great time in life, contributing magnificently, as she is right now by being the receiver of our contribution. Because when we receive, we are contributing to allowing others to contribute. Feel Mary's health, well-being, whole, complete. And I am so grateful for the power and presence of our community, for the healing energy, for the love, for the light, as it pours through Mary in this very moment. Knowing her health and well-being, we all say together, and so it is. All right. Excellent. All right, take out what you're going to give. Hold it in your hand. Another way in which we feed our community is through whatever is ours to give, whether it be $1, $10, $100, diamonds, deeds of property, gold, whatever it is, put it in these baskets. But first, hold it in your hand, unfold it, because this is power. As we all say together, God is the source of all supply. Money is God in action. What we give, what I give, I receive multiplied abundantly. All that God is, I am. So it is.